There's a quote in the introduction section of your chapter, and it says the central claim of the theory of evolution, as laid out in 1859 by Charles Darwin in The Origin of Species, is that living species, despite their diversity in form and way of life, are the products of descent with modification from common ancestors. And you go on and you look at different definitions of evolution: change over time, common ancestry, which is what we would be looking at today, and natural selection acting upon random mutations without an intelligent designer. And that natural selection acting on random mutations being the central drive of change in organisms over time. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so there are three general definitions of evolution that are used in the scientific community. First of all, you can define it just as change over time, the idea that living organisms that are alive today are different than organisms that were alive in the past, the idea that there are small-scale changes within species. No one disagrees with this form of sort of small-scale microevolution, we might call it. The second definition is common ancestry, the idea that all living organisms are related. So if you go back far enough, then you share a common ancestor with your pet dog, and back a little bit further, you share a common ancestor with your pet goldfish. Go back even further, you share a common ancestor with your pet rose bush, and go back even further, and you share a common ancestor with the fungus that's growing on the bottom of your foot and the bacteria in your gut. So basically all living organisms are related. Now that, as you correctly said, and by the way, that was a great introduction you gave to sort of nuancing the conversation, what intelligent design says and doesn't say. Intelligent design is compatible with common ancestry. You could have living organisms sharing common ancestors, and yet the mechanism of that ancestry or that evolution might have been guided by an intelligent agent. And so intelligent design is not necessarily incompatible with the view that living organisms share common ancestry. And so there are some leading folks in the ID movement, like I would say Michael Behe, Michael Denton, and others who are proponents of intelligent design and proponents of common ancestry. Excuse me. So yeah, that's just important to say from the outset. Now, the third definition of evolution is that the driving mechanism of that change is random mutation operating upon natural selection. And that is where intelligent design really butts heads with evolution, in that natural selection says that sort of it's an apparently unguided process. It operates without any intelligent guidance or oversight. It just is a natural law at work. You don't need to control it. Well, intelligent design says that there are some features of nature, say the complex language-based code, the digital information in our DNA that forms the basis for encoding proteins and body plans in living organisms, that when you have this language-based code in life, that requires an intelligent cause for it to be able to originate. And it's not going to arise via an unguided process. Information, language-based code don't come from unintelligent mechanisms. Oh, you need an intelligent mechanism to be able to produce those things. So intelligent design butts heads with evolution when it comes to the origin of these complex features that in our experience only come from intelligence and don't come from a sort of a mindless mechanistic process.
Thank you for listening. Credible Faith is a global missions-minded apologetics ministry with content available in 7 different languages across 7 websites: German, Russian, Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and English. If you would like to support the global apologetics work of Credible Faith, go to crediblefaith.org and click on the donate icon. If you would like me to give an apologetics workshop or participate in a debate at your university, or if you would like me to give a Great Commission missions conference or apologetics conference at your church, get in touch with me through the Contact Us section of the Credible Faith website. You can also submit a request through the website to get Credible Faith's monthly email. If you are a native speaker of Russian, German, Italian, French, Spanish, or Portuguese, and if you notice that an essay from the English website is not available on the Credible Faith website for your language, feel free to get in touch with me about translating the essay, and I would read through your translated material for quality control and the desire to see content from the essay made available in your language. Thank you for listening, and have a great night.